Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Monster Hunter. I am Kid161, and this is the quest we're doing right now. We're doing a gathering quest, which isn't normally what I would do, but I kind of have no choice. The first monster I want to hunt is something called a Yian Kut-Ku, but unfortunately it is so weak that it literally has no regular G rank one. You have to do it in a gathering type quest where it's a monster beside your main goal. I'm just showing off my items here. These are the main items I'll be using pretty much in every quest. If someone's bringing on specialty items for a different monster, these are actually leftovers from my last quest. I'll be using them here. But Kut-Ku's not that difficult in any stretch of imagination. He's beyond a drome. He's actually probably the easiest one, I'd say. I've got no real. He's pretty easy to say. I'll talk about strategy later. I'm just showing off my equipment. I'll do this before every hunt. Showing off my skills, what I have kind of set up. Yeah. Now you saw what I have. Other good items I have just for basic stuff is flash bombs, which are useful for stunning monsters, but unfortunately the problem is that although they stun them, they also make them do random attacks, which isn't a good idea sometimes because random attacks can hit you, and if you try and do a war of attrition with the monsters here, they will always win. The monsters here have a lot more HP than you do, and they can do a lot. Well, actually, you do more damage, but they just have so much HP. This is the beginning of a gathering quest. Normally you won't have all this shit. This maps and stuff. Normally it would just be in the middle of places, which I'll show later, because I do 2 quests in this video just to show off some stuff. But for right now, I just wanted to show off like what a regular Kut-Ku is. It's actually a special mission that includes a Kut-Ku, but that'll be a little bit later. So now begins the first part. Try to find the monster. I'll be cutting out most of this. Cutting out most of these parts simply because it's not that interesting. The other thing I might notice is that you have a map in the right part of the screen. That will not be there that often simply because in G rank you get dropped off and you don't have supplies, so I don't even have a map to get even if you go back to the base. So I'll be editing in a map most of the time, which is going to be a bitch, but for right now we're just going to talk about some stuff. Like I said, other items you can bring out are flash bombs, which help stun enemies, but it makes them do random attacks, which can be bad if you're G rank fighting G rank monsters like I am. The good ideas are traps, shark and pitfall traps. They hold a monster down. They don't work on every monster. You can find online which ones do and do not work, but they're also useful to hold enemies for a while, which lets you just get in some free attacks. I'm just kind of running around now, showing you all the areas you can go to in this area. I think what this area is called. I'll put a link. I'll put something on the screen to tell you. What else do I talk about? I had something else to talk about, but I completely forgot, and I didn't write it down. That's a bad habit. I should really start just writing down like little. Whenever I have an idea for what I want to talk about in video, I should just write it, jot it down on like a notepad or something. Just like, oh, I want to talk about this. Oh, and here you see something. That big bug in there is known as the Vesperoid Queen, which is I guess you could call it kind of a drome, which is because of the Vesperoids are those little like winged creatures that you see everywhere. That's called a Vesperoid. That's the queen. It's another like drome type monster. It's a big boss monster. Not difficult, but I'll show it later. Okay, now we're just running around. Because right now I'm lost and I can't find Kut-Ku. Like I said, I'll probably edit most of this part out, just me running around trying to find the monster in the beginning of an episode, but we'll see. What else do I want to talk about? Not armor, not weapons. Oh, I guess I should talk about that. You notice right now, like I said, I'm using a longsword, and like I said in the weapons explanation video, if you didn't watch that, I will basically be using longswords for all of the hunts in this project. There'll be a few times when I use a bow, but beyond that, I'm pretty much just gonna mainly use a longsword. Not because I think it's the best. I do not believe that at all. It's just that's the weapon I'm used to. When I first started playing this game, longswords were the first weapons I really got to know and learned how to use. I can beat any monster with them if I want to, and that's what I use. That's just what I find to use. Whenever I fight a monster, I'll say what I think is my personal opinion on what a good weapon is for the monster. But beyond that, you can choose your own weapons. Really, I'm just a good longsword person. I can use all the weapons if I want to. I just choose not to because it would take way too freaking long to go back and make the other weapons to upgrade it to the G rank level and stuff. You can only get the highest level weapons by continually improving weapons. You can't make all of them from scratch, so that gets kind of annoying. So trying to go back and make different types of weapons for different types of monsters of different elements would just take way too long, and I don't feel like it. I can beat everything with a longsword. That's good enough for me. And right now I'm completely lost as to where he is, so I'm just kind of running around everywhere. I'm gonna run into a cave here, which this area's only cold area. You need a hot drink to get in here. And here we meet my least favorite small enemy, Fangos. These things are a bitch. I'll tell you why now, because most small monsters you can just ignore when you're fighting like a bigger monster, like all the prey and like bugs and stuff. For the most part, you move around so much they won't hit you, or they'll jump over and stuff. You see that a lot with a lot of stuff. But like these things will just kind of avoid you because they take so long. Bofangos will not. They have basically locked homing in targets attacks on you that will hit you unless you constantly move out of the way. Alright, next on my hit list is Yian Kut-Ku. Yian Kut-Ku is the first non-drone big monster you're probably gonna fight. And because of that, he's incredibly easy. As you can see, he's pretty weak, given 1.5 difficulty, simply because once you know his pattern, he's ridiculously easy. Especially since if you're on his left side, he can't hurt you immediately. He can hurt you, he has to move around to be able to hurt you, and that just means you can continually move around to his side and then just destroy him. He's really easy. He doesn't have any really attacks that can actually hurt you that badly, except for maybe one, which you'll see later. But like I said, if you're on his left side, you cannot hurt him, pretty much. He's weak to ice on his head, water on his wings. I'm using my water weapon simply because it's better than my ice weapon at the moment, and also hitting his wings is a lot easier than hitting his head. But anyway, not much else to really say about it. As you can see by the weapons thing, pretty much anything works on him. I don't recommend Bo as highly as with other monsters because since he does like to turn around and then just spit fireballs at you and sometimes charge, it can be kind of tricky. If you're really careful and just exit out of shooting mode in an instant, then okay. If you're very careful, exiting out of shooting mode the moment he turns around at you, I say you could use a bow. I would recommend it as highly as with some other monsters, but bowguns are pretty much always going to be okay to bad from now on, because bowguns are awful in one-person mode. In two-player mode, they can be, in multiplayer, they can be kind of useful, but in one-player mode, they suck, honestly, in my opinion. That's pretty much all I really have to say, so watch me kill it. So you actually have to worry about it. And here's Kut-Ku. There's an introduction screen back there that I messed up, kind of. Kut-Ku is not hard, like I said. He has a few different attacks. This thing is the most dangerous one, is spitting fireballs, because he's a fire-type bird wyvern. He'll charge at you, he'll peck at you, he'll also do something else, which I'll talk about later. He'll also do that, we'll jump back and flap his wings. Don't worry about it, it's not dangerous at all, and it's very easy to avoid. It doesn't do any damage. Just basically him trying to create some space and buying some time, which does not work. Pretty simple. Nothing really to comment on about him. Like I said, he's really easy. Again, this is something else monsters do, which it's kind of like a free hit area. What they will do is taunt or growl. During this time, they will not attack you. They will just simply try to run around, and it's just time for you some free hits. There's something else the monsters will do. Any non-draw monster will do this. They'll go into rage mode, which is where they get angry. In rage mode, they are faster, stronger, and a hell of a lot meaner. Rage mode is also there's always a physical difference between when a monster goes into rage mode beyond them just kind of showing like a little moveset. As you can see, there's now fire coming out of Kut-Ku's mouth, which means he's in rage mode. And there's something else that he and a lot of other wyverns do, is they will rotate around in a counterclockwise circle, going around trying to hit you with their tail in areas. Not that great of an attack. It's more annoying with Kut-Ku because he's small, so his tail can hit you really easily if you get too long. And he just taunted twice in a row. Wow. Lucky. Beyond that, beyond spitting fireball and stuff, Kut doesn't really have an measurement. But in rage mode, he's fast enough where it can be kind of annoying. Especially when he combos you, because monsters can combo you really easily in this game. Like just there, Kut-Ku had gone to that like a spinning attack where he just kind of rotates around. Oh yeah, he also bite at you. I couldn't have dodged that because I was still getting up from the previous attack. The last attack he does, which I think he kind of showed earlier, is where he will rampage down in a straight line and just spit fireballs on both sides. Now, this is the only really dangerous attack and the one that's kind of hard to avoid unless you're prepared for it. Beyond that, he's really slow, his attacks aren't that bad. Just kind of stick around to the side. Any other strategies that, you see Kut-Ku has very large ears. This means he's vulnerable to sonic bombs. And now, damn you, now you blew me up. Sonic bombs are another type of bomb besides flash bomb, but they do not work on most monsters, because most monsters are immune to them. But they work on Kut-Ku because he has such large ears. So if you want to stun him for a little bit, you can do that. Warning though, if you use a sonic bomb, there's a 100% chance he will go into rage mode as soon as he's out of being dazzled. And here we just got shown something that annoys the hell out of me. The touch of death. Big monsters, when they get angry, will just being near them hurts them. Even if it's just not really attacking you, like if they're just kind of walking around you, that you still take damage. I refer to this as a touch death simply because simply by touching you and just kind of moving the feet around, they do damage, and it can drain your HP fast. Because there are some monsters that just do an insane amount of damage like that. Oh, they can hit you multiple times in a row, but when doing that, it can just drain your HP if you're not careful. Still, not a hard monster. I probably actually should have taken this much damage, to be honest. Not sure what happened. I'm not sure why I didn't get hit there, but whatever. He shouldn't be too much longer. Oh yeah, one other thing I forgot to mention is that you can break parts on Kut-Ku. What this means is that you can attack a part of his body so much that it will break, per se. You will see a change, and then that will mean you broke it. Breaking parts on a monster's body is useful for getting rewards. This is like streaming down, is like running charge attack. You notice at the end of every mission you get rewards from the village. Based on how when you're fighting a monster like this, you will get rewards. You will get rewards like monster parts, and you'll get rewards like monster parts. If you break an area, you also get you get a special reward. You get a special item rewards that let you get that piece of the monster. And here, right there, I just knocked him over. If you attack a monster's body part, if you attack a monster's feet enough, they will fall over and then they'll be completely held for a few seconds. I know when like some monsters were weaker, it's possible to like chain this attack and just kind of lock them in a trap where you just continually attack their legs and they can't hit. And I see Kut-Ku's ears going down. Some monsters when they get weak will show signs of weakness, like in Kut-Ku, is pretty obvious. His ears go down. When he does this, he's almost at death. He's pretty much at death, so he's just about to die. It's not a huge sign, it's just showing that if you have a long, hard fight, the end is near. And there we go. If this was a hunting quest, you would see a big animation saying that you did it and all that stuff. Because this is a gathering quest where all of this I had to do is get the paw pass. You didn't see that. But whatever. I have one more thing I want to show you with Kut-Ku, and then we're going to call it a video, actually. There is a color variation of Kut-Ku known as a blue Kut-Ku. Their color variations, for the most part, they're a little bit different in this game than the previous one, Monster Hunter Freedom 2. The previous game, all they did was have a few more rage modes and were a little bit tougher. This game, new color changes were made a bit different, but we'll get into that later. Just know that there's a color version of blue Kut-Ku, which is slightly more powerful than a regular Kut-Ku, so not hard. And now we have completed the quest. Get rewards. This is all garbage from like almost every gathering quest is. Ooh, but I do like that paintball, Ivy, and the honey. Good job, Nell. Except when you blew me up. And yeah, this is just kind of an example of what all the other videos are gonna be like. I have enough stuff to talk about in this video to keep you entertained throughout the whole thing. But for long ones, I'm planning to have guests, probably Hein a lot of the time because he's also played this a lot. I don't want to say anything else really quick. What was I gonna say? And why am I taking so damn long to save? Might cut part this out. Don't say anything else. I guess I can say this. Usually every time after I just got my forecaster back. Usually every time after you complete a mission, you want to go back to Poke Farm and get more items and stuff, simply because that's the way to obtain ores and stuff, because Poke Farm is the best place to get it. And the last thing I'm going to show in this video is this mission. Oh, Bird Tail, Yian Kut-Ku? What does this mean? You'll see in a little bit. It's kind of funny, honestly. Okay. Moving on, I guess. And now we'll see what an actual thing is like. And now begins my pain in the ass editing. Because you see, there is no map in the right portion of the screen. I'm going to edit a map in with my current location on it. It won't be as fancy as though, and my position won't move on it, but it'll just show you where I am and basis on a whole map. I'll probably put in the bottom left corner of the screen simply because That way it's out of the way for the most part and won't interfere with the pawn on the right. And here comes the joke! It's a Kut-Ku! But it's minuscule! Yes, this is a mini Kut-Ku. You might find this as just being a joke of a mission. It's not, actually. This little bugger is actually stronger than a regular one. Why, you might ask? Well, one, he's so small, it's hard to hit him, so he's just as fast, and he has the exact same amount of damage if he charges at you. However, his fireball's attacks are even more powerful and have a larger radius. How this makes sense, I don't know. So, he's smaller and harder to hit, and his fireball attacks is even more powerful. So yeah, he's a tad bit tougher than regular Kut-Ku. Still not that hard. I'm just being an idiot right here, honestly. I should not have gotten hit like that. But, yeah. Stupid Kut-Ku. And right there I got lucky because he flinched when I attacked him. I thought I was gonna get hit otherwise. And now he's angry. And I swear, I'm like 95% swear that when he gets angry, his fireballs get even bigger. I'm next to 100% certain that happens because you saw how big that fire tower was. That's even bigger than it normally is. And I got knocked over. Stupid. Now, oh crap! I got lucky there. If he had charged, I would have taken damage. Okay. And see, just like that. Normally I would have dodged the attack, but unfortunately that was where Nell was being not useful. When the monster can target either you or your partner, and sometimes you can get caught up in the crosshairs when he's looking at your partner because he's trying to hit them when he accidentally hits you. And yep, here it is. I get knocked unconscious. That was actually really embarrassing. This little bug is definitely stronger than a regular Kut-Ku, and he's harder, but I should not have been knocked out by him. That was just kind of, embarrassing. So now I see the home base of this area. This place is called Forston Hills. But, yeah, it is. But, yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. Anyway, one other thing I want to talk about, you saw that feline back there, that little cat with the claw thing stole a herb from me. There is a portion of the map, I'm going to highlight that right now, that is where all the felines are, that is where you will find your stolen item. There's one of these in every area, so if a feline, like those little cats are also in pretty much every area. If one of them ever steals your items, there's always a place to get them back. And you see another example of why the Bullfango is my least favorite mini monster. And the Kut-Ku move. So now I just gotta run. So these kind of cats here, these black cats with the little claw type things, they'll steal your items. They're kind of mean. It's not a long way to find Kut-Ku, so I'll keep on commentating for this because it's almost over, I think. How much longer is this? I figure another 10 minutes or so. But part of it, I think, is just extra video I'm gonna cut out. Do I have anything else to talk about? Talked about? No, not really. Oh, and there we go. And there it is. You saw the eye back there. That means you came in and you heard the music. So I did, but I was already too far ahead to go back. Yeah, the idea that they can see you sometimes is a little misguiding in this game. It's just that after you've attacked them so much and they're angry, they'll know they can sense your presence, and even if they really can't see you, they'll still see you. Like I hear, he really didn't see me, but he was angry at me when I first attacked him, so the eye was there. And also remember the turning is always in counterclockwise, fashion. So if you go to the clockwise side of him, he will not hit you for a few rounds and giving you some chances to attack. Dodge there, and now he's gonna blow me up again. Oh, not quite. Barely missed me. It was just out of the radius. Now he's pissed. He's getting pretty weak though. I've done a lot of damage to him with all those constant spirit gauge attacks. That is a huge ass fireball attack. I love his voice. It's so ridiculous. They had a special voice actor for this wyvern, for this Kut-Ku. Normally, no matter how big or small a wyvern is, they will always have the same they always have the same voice type thing, the same pitch and stuff. Just that they will be bigger. I guess that's something to talk about, is that monsters can be big or large. Even though this Kut-Ku is specially made to be minuscule, there will be sometimes when you find large or small ones. There's actually like a size guide that occurs where you can find the smallest and the biggest. So it's like kind of like fishing. See which hunter can find the biggest and the smallest versions of each monster. And there was some glitchy viewing that got me hit. And he should be... whatever. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't go on for that much longer, I don't think. So I've said that several times already, so you're probably tired of me saying that. But again, that's true. He split a couple of times too. Yep, there we go. He's almost dead. Normally he'd try and run away and try and oh yeah, and there the bomb stunned him because there was a loud noise. And there we go. Normally he'd try and run away and then sleep to recover his HP. Yes, they can actually recover health if by running away and then sleeping, which they will do when they are weak. But yeah, anyway, that is Yian Kut-Ku. What I picked up there were wyverns here. Sometimes enemies will drop items if you kill them, or if you do certain things to them. And here I'm trying to teabag his face because he annoyed me because he knocked me out, which was pretty embarrassing, honestly. Ah, you bitch. Enemies will drop items if you do the correct thing to them. Usually it just means either forcing them into a wall, getting them stuck, or using a correct type of bomb on it. Usually it's either like tears or like a scale or something like that. Tears are account items that you can sell them for poke points and for money. What else to really say? That's about it for Kut-Ku. Very easy monster, good way to start off. It's leveled. He's very weak. Not much really else to say. So I will see you next time on Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. This is Kid161, and as soon as you see the items that I got, I will call this a video. Bye.